Part 245. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2441. Chapter 2441. Chiao Mian Mian, what are your intentions? Henry Zhou clearly liked his previous career as an actor. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to play so many guest roles without being paid. And he also said that when he retires, he will no longer do jewelry design, and he will return to his profession. What is his line of work? Then it's natural to be an actor. According to Shenro, actors are also actors. Chiao Mian Mian actually led her to say these words on purpose. Shenro was really fooled. Although Henry Zhou himself was not here and could not hear what Shenro said, Chiao Mian Mian's goal was still achieved. It doesn't matter that Henry Zhou didn't hear what Shenro said. Chiao Mian Mian has her own plans. Hearing Chiao Mian Mian mention Henry Zhou, Shenro was stunned for a moment, and her expression suddenly changed. She narrowed her eyes, her face darkened, and she gritted her teeth and said coldly, "Of course Mr. Henry Zhou is different. Chiao Mian Mian, what are your intentions? You suddenly moved Mr. Henry Zhou out. Did you do it on purpose?" After she finished speaking, she looked around cautiously. I felt relieved after I saw no suspicious characters appearing. Chiao Mian Mian, this little bitch. She suddenly mentioned Henry Zhou. What did it mean? Shenro certainly knew that Henry Zhou had been an actor before. It's just that she didn't think of this when she said that artists were all lowly actors. Now that the words had been spoken, she felt something was wrong. She seemed to have accidentally scolded Henry Zhou as well. Fortunately, no matter how cunning little Chiao Mian Mian is, it's useless. After all, Henry Zhou is still far abroad, and it is impossible to hear what she just said. As long as she doesn't admit that she said those things. Although Shenro cursed artists as cheap actors and looked down upon them, she knew very well that the current era was different from before. In the past, artists were indeed of low status and could not be on the stage. They were actors who could be entertained by paying money. But today's celebrities actually have a very high social status. Especially for big celebrities who are currently popular, others come to them with money to do things. Even some large companies rely on celebrity endorsements when launching new products. Popular traffic stars have terrible ability to bring goods and can create very good sales results for enterprises. Fans nowadays are very willing to pay for their favorite celebrities. Moreover, the current top stars are still very assertive. No matter how much money they have, some stars may not be able to be hired. They have to put in good words and beg for all kinds of things. After all, these top stars are not short of money, and there is no shortage of partners, and there are many businessmen who go to them with a lot of money. Shen's new jewelry product to be launched this time, I had previously thought about asking Shenfei to endorse it. Shenfei is a big-name celebrity who combines popularity and strength. If she can be allowed to endorse Shen's jewelry, the quality of Shen's jewelry will be improved by several levels. However, what makes Shenro still a little frustrated is that Shenfei actually refused. They all offered an endorsement fee of 30 million, but Shenfei refused without hesitation. RMB 30 million for an advertisement is already a very high endorsement fee. They are those top-notch young talents who shoot a TV series for several months, and their pay is just this amount. What makes Shenro even more furious is that the reason for Shenfei's rejection is that she doesn't like Shen's jewelry and feels that Shen's jewelry does not match her image. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2442. Chapter 2442. He has such patience with this little bitch. Isn't this just a roundabout way of saying that Shen's jewelry is not of high quality? However, now I'm afraid Shenfei will regret it to death. After knowing that Henry Zhou has become the designer of Shen's new jewelry products, Will she still feel that Shen's jewelry is not high quality enough? What can I have? Seeing Shen Ro's furious look, Qiao Mian said with a smile, I'm just reminding Miss Shen to be careful when speaking. Tell me, what would Henry Zhou think if he heard what you just said? Is he still willing to be a designer for your Shen jewelry? With his temper, I think he is unwilling. Shen Ro's face changed again, and she almost turned blue. Are you threatening me? Do you think it's useful? Even if I say that, so what? Mr. Henry Zhou doesn't know about it at all. What's more, you clearly know that I'm not talking about Mr. Henry Zhou. You think you can scare me? That's ridiculous. Qiao Mian was too lazy to talk nonsense to her anymore. Anyway, she already got everything she wanted. Originally, she didn't want to deal with Shen Ro. But since people have already taken the initiative to bump into her, and are still shouting in front of her so arrogantly, wouldn't she be sorry for this good opportunity if she doesn't do something? She will not take the initiative to cause trouble. But if someone insists on making trouble and wants to sit on her head and shit, then she is not a vegetarian. It's time for her to teach Shen Ro a lesson. Whatever you think. Si is still waiting for me. I don't have time to chat with Miss Shen anymore. Miss Shen, you can do it yourself. After Qiao Mian said this, she turned around and looked for Mo Yet. Secretary. When Shen Ro heard her call ACI, her already ugly face turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. Is Mo Yesi here too? He is shopping for clothes here with this little bitch. When Shen Ro came in, she was directly led to this area by the clerk, and she did not see Mo Yesi sitting in the rest area. Even when she saw Qiao Mian, she never thought that Qiao Mian was with Mo Yesi. She knew very well how much Mo Yesi hated going shopping. Earlier, she accompanied MRSMO to the mall, and MRSMO called Mo Yesi over. He stayed for less than 10 minutes before making excuses and leaving. He was so impatient when spending time with his mother. But, now I have such patience with this little bitch. Shen Ro's body surged with uncontrollable jealousy and resentment. She once didn't dare to expect extravagant things, but now, Mo Night Division accompanies this little one by one. After Qiao Mian finished speaking, she turned around to look for Mo Yesi. She didn't see Shen Ro's face, which was as dark as the bottom of a pot. Why did you wait so long? Why didn't you change your clothes? As soon as Qiao Mian turned around, she smelled a familiar scent. The man behind him skillfully hooked her waist and brought her to him. It's Mo Yesi. Qiao Mian pressed her back against the man's warm chest and raised her head to glance at him. She originally wanted to push him away, but when she felt a jealous and resentful gaze looking towards her, he curled his lips and leaned lazily against Mo Yesi. Then he said in a sweet voice, I was going to change clothes. Didn't I meet someone I knew, so I chatted for a few words. Acquaintance. Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows, raised his deep black eyes, and glanced at Shen Ro, his eyes indifferent and distant. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2443. Chapter 2443. Show affection in public and spread dog food. In just a few seconds, he quickly looked back. Yes, I just saw Miss Shen and chatted for a few words. I didn't expect you to be impatient with waiting, so let's go now. I'm not impatient. When Mo Yesi looked at Qiao Mian, his eyes softened again. I'm just curious as to why it took you so long to change clothes. If you're not worried, just come over and have a look. Let me see this dress. There's no need to change, just wear it and go. Well, that's what I think too. Qiao Mian nodded, stretched out her hand to touch her lower abdomen, and said, my stomach is not so full now, so I don't need to go shopping anymore. I'm tired of shopping now. I'm a little sleepy, I want to take a nap. Then go to the company and sleep. Moyesi rubbed her head and said in a doting tone, tell me when you will go to the recording studio in the afternoon. I will ask Wei Zheng to arrange the time in the afternoon, and I will send you there then. Are you sending me off? Jiao Mian knew that Shenro was still looking at them and could hear their conversation, so she said in a softer voice, would that delay your work? Let the driver deliver it to you. It's not far away, there's no need for you to send it to me personally. I don't know if Moyesi guessed her thoughts and knew that she wanted to be calm and gentle on purpose. Anyway, he cooperated well and said to her in an increasingly doting tone, you are more important than work. It's okay, it's not the first time I've delayed work for you. Jiao Mian felt that Shenro's gaze on her was about to catch fire. Even if she didn't look at Shenro's reaction, she could still feel the intensity of the anger in that resentful gaze. If looks could kill. She felt that Shenro must have looked at her 100 times. Jiao Mian raised the corners of her lips with great satisfaction at Moyesi's superiority and cooperation. She really wanted to give Moyesi a reward kiss now. How could he understand her thoughts so well? His words just now probably made Shenruki vomit blood. Jiao Mian felt particularly happy when she thought of Shenro being so angry that she vomited blood. Is this really okay? She said in a coquettish voice, frowning slightly, pretending to be a little embarrassed. Then will your subordinates say that I am ignorant and think that I have to pester you? I won't let you work hard. Who dares to say that? Moyesi raised his eyebrows and said domineeringly, unless you don't want to be in the Mo family anymore. Okay. Jiao Mian felt that Shenro was still watching, so she stood up on her tiptoes and kissed Moyesi in exasperation, then pursed her lips and said with a sweet smile, thank you, my dear. The two people showed off their affection in public regardless of the occasion and spread dog food. The clerk standing aside looked at it with heart-filled eyes, as if he was watching a sweet idol drama, and felt as if he had been in a short and sweet love. Mom. This is too sweet. The domineering president dotes on his petty wife online? The phrase you are more important than work is too sweet and soothing. It brings out the girlish heart of an old aunt like her. Although, Moyesi was not teasing her. But as a bystander, she just watched such a sweet scene and felt sweet in her heart. It surprised me that this man who seems so cold and inaccessible also has such a gentle and doting side. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2444. Chapter 2444, Embarrassing her so much. Being in love with such a man, you must be extremely happy. Especially, he is cold and indifferent to others, and his only gentle and doting side is reserved only for himself. Just thinking about it makes me feel so happy, so sweet, so romantic. This unique affection and tenderness, what woman doesn't want it? The clerk took a sweet mouthful of dog food, and while feeling extremely envious, he turned his head to look at Shenro. She wanted to know. What kind of mood will Shenro feel at this time? You don't know it until you see it, but you're shocked when you see it. She could see that Shenro's entire face was livid, still the kind of pale livid color, and her eyes filled with jealousy and resentment reminded her of the resentful spirits in a horror movie she had watched, as well as her. Zhang's face was already twisted with jealousy and anger. The expression on her face looked ferocious and terrifying. At this moment, she was staring at Jiao Mian. The clerk saw hatred and murderous intent in Shenro's eyes. In an instant, the clerk felt a chill spreading all over his body. Shenro looked terrible at this moment. It's like a new person. Her hatred for Jiao Mian was as if Jiao Mian had killed her whole family and had a sworn hatred for her. But in fact, she had been unrequitedly in love with Moyesi for many years, but Moyesi was with other women. It's just that she has been in unrequited love for many years and has not been able to impress the person she likes. The person she likes is with someone else. This is not something to be sorry for her. Moyesi didn't feel sorry for her. Chiao Mian didn't feel sorry for her either. If you have liked someone for many years and the other person must respond to your feelings and like you, then there won't be so many crazy men and women. There won't be so many joys and sorrows. Then everyone will choose the best person to like. But there is no such good thing in the world. The clerk knew that Shenro would feel uncomfortable, but he didn't expect that she would have such deep hatred for Chiao Mian. The jealousy of women is indeed terrible. Chiao Mian and Moyesi finished their show of affection, guessing that Shenro was probably furious by now, and didn't want to continue stimulating her. Anyway, her goal has been achieved. Moyesi, let's go. Chiao Mian covered her lips and yawned, her voice lazily. She was really sleepy. She got up very early because she had to shoot an advertisement early this morning. It was another few hours of highly concentrated shooting. In addition, she was too full after eating at noon, and she would easily become sleepy after eating. Yeah, Moyesi had been cooperating with her just now. Seeing that she wanted to leave, he naturally nodded cooperatively and put his arms around her waist. Let's go. After he finished speaking, he hugged Chiao Mian and turned to leave. From the beginning to the end, he didn't even look at Shenro, an acquaintance. Shenro, who was treated like air by him, stood there, her face was ashen just now. Moyesi didn't glance at her out of the corner of his eye, let alone say a word to her, and just prepared to leave with Chiao Mian. At this time, it turned into a ghostly pale white color. She bit her lip and clenched her hands, her clenched fists trembling uncontrollably. How could he do this? Time and time again, she was embarrassed to this point because of that bitch. Shenro tried her best to endure the anger and resentment that was about to be suppressed, but she couldn't help it when she saw that Moyesi and Chiao Mian had already walked to the door and were about to walk out of the store. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2445. Chapter 2445. The Mo family doesn't owe you the Shen family anything. She walked quickly towards Chiao Mian and Moyesi. ACI, wait a moment, I have something else to say to you. Shenro called Moyesi. Moyesi heard this, but did not stop and continued walking out with Chiao Mian in his arms. When Shenro saw that Moyesi ignored her completely, the expression on her face became even more ugly. She stepped on her high heels and ran after him angrily. Soon, she caught up. You are so unkind to me. Are you not even willing to say a word to me? Moyesi refused to pay attention to her, so Shenro had no choice but to run in front of him and stop him, preventing him from moving forward. Moyesi finally stopped, lowered his head and looked at her with a cold face. I have nothing to say to you, get out of the way. This is not the first time that I have been treated with such indifference by him. Ever since the two had a complete quarrel, Moyesi had been as indifferent and distant to her as a stranger when they met again. Shenro originally thought that she should be used to it. She will no longer feel heartache and sadness. However, looking at the cold and distant look on his face, and seeing how he treated her even more indifferently than a stranger, her heart felt as if she had been stabbed hard by some sharp blade, and her heart hurt for a moment. She couldn't figure it out. Why can he be so cruel and ruthless? Is his heart made of stone? Even if she did some bad things, she never did anything to hurt him. She just used some tricks on that little Chiao Mian. But in the end, it didn't cause any serious consequences. Didn't he settle things for that little bitch? Why, he refused to forgive himself or give himself another chance. What she committed was not an irreparable mistake. Could it be that just because she was the one to deal with Chiao Mian, in his eyes, she made a huge mistake that was unforgivable? They have known each other for more than 20 years. It is a childhood sweetheart in the eyes of others. She had always thought that she held a certain special place in his heart, which was different from others. She never thought that one day, he would become a stranger to her because of a woman. She overestimated her position in his heart. He also underestimated the importance of Chiao Mian in his heart. ACI, even if we are not friends now, we are not enemies. Do you have to treat me like this? I have no other purpose. I just want to say a few words to you. Shenro's eyes were obscure. A trace of pain flashed across his eyes, and his face showed an obviously hurt look. Mo Yesie's attitude towards her did not improve because of her words. His expression was still cold, and there was still alienation in his eyes. Miss Shen said that we are not friends. I agree, but are we not enemies? Mo Yesie raised his lips mockingly and said, do you really think that I don't know about the things you do in private? When your Shen family encountered difficulties, the Mo family did not help, but the Mo family did not add insult to injury. The Mo family doesn't owe you anything to the Shen family, and we have no obligation to help you. Why do you think that if something happens to your Shen family, the Mo family must help, otherwise they will be sorry for your Shen family? Don't say that the Shen family and the Mo family are just family friends. Even if the Shen family and the Mo family are related, the Mo family has no obligation to help. Help is a matter of affection. Not helping is common sense. If something happens to the Mo family and I ask your Shen family for help, I'm afraid your Shen family will do even worse. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2446. Chapter 2446. From the beginning, she was in the wrong position. Shenro's face was extremely ugly. She was stunned and gritted her teeth. The Shen family will not be as heartless as your Mo family. You can obviously help. That is not a difficult thing for you. You are just 4. Shenro's eyes fell fiercely on Chiao Mian, and she continued with gritted teeth, you are just trying to vent your anger on Chiao Mian, so you don't care about the life and death of our Shen family. Ha! Mo Yesie sneered. The Mo family has been suppressing the Shen family for so many years, and has also taken away many markets that originally belonged to the Shen family. Your father has long been complaining. The so-called family friendship between the two families is just superficial. It's just a relationship. If something happens to Mr. Mo, believe me, your father will definitely be very happy. Mr. Mo asks Mr. Shen for help. When the time comes, your father will be able to send Mr. Mo away just because he says that he is not capable enough and that he is willing but not strong enough. As for me refusing to help just to vent my anger on Mian, so what? The woman I love has been bullied, and you want me to pretend that nothing has happened and continue to be friends with the person who bullied her? Shenro, do you take yourself too seriously? Do you think I will forgive you again and again because of our friendship for so many years? Do you think you can be forgiven for anything you do to Mian? Even if we have been friends for many years, you are just a friend. And Mian is my wife. If you want to compare her weight in my heart with her, it only means that you have positioned yourself wrong from the beginning. Shenro was stunned. After hearing him tell the matter so directly, her face turned blue and white. She seemed to have been hit hard by something heavy, her body swayed, and her whole body was a little shaky. He said she was just a friend. And Chiao Mian is his wife. From the very beginning, her positioning was wrong, and she should not compare her weight in his heart with Chiao Mian. He admitted so directly that he refused to help, really because of Chiao Mian. For the sake of Chiao Mian, he could ignore the years of friendship between the Shen family and the Mo family. Not to mention their many years of friendship. Shenro looked at him with a pale face, and then at Jiao Mian who was hugged tightly by his side. As she looked at it, she suddenly laughed. She laughed so hard that her eyes shed tears, and her eyes were full of sarcasm. Yes, it's all my own fault. I thought that after knowing you for so many years, I would be different from others. No matter what you do, you will never be right. I'm too cruel. I misplaced myself from the very beginning. No matter how we have known each other for more than 20 years, no matter how much we have grown up together, no matter how much we pay for you, in your heart, you will not get just one friend status. How ridiculous. Just friends. Not even a good friend. But she actually thought that their relationship should be better than good friends. Everything is her own fault. Now that he had finally told everything, she realized how ridiculous she really was. Mo Yesi, I really regret it. Shenro's tears were still flowing, making her face wet and blurring her original delicate eye makeup. You are such a heartless person, how can I have liked you for so many years? She actually ridiculously thought that as long as she persisted, sooner or later he would be moved by her and accept her. Mo Yesi looked at her expressionlessly. Really? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2447. Chapter 2447. It is impossible for him to fall in love with any woman. Yes, tears flowed out again, and the circles around her eyes were smeared black with tears. People like you have no heart at all. Mo Yesi looked cold and non-committal. Shenro looked at his appearance, and her heart throbbed again. She bit her lip, stretched out her hand to wipe the corners of her eyes, and then turned her gaze to Jiao Mian aside. She looked at Jiao Mian leaning on him intimately, and the man who was cold to her wrapped his arms possessively around Jiao Mian's waist. She thought of Jiao Mian silently watching her joke just now, and the hatred in Shenro's eyes. The meaning burst out. She felt bad. She won't make it easy for Jiao Mian either. Even if she couldn't separate them now, she could still create a barrier between them. Jiao Mian, don't be proud. Do you think you are special? Shenro wiped the corners of her eyes vigorously with the back of her hand again. When she wiped the already smudged eye makeup, that part of her eyes looked even more, oh no. She smiled again, looking a little ferocious. Mo Yesi has no heart. It's just because of your specialness that you occupy a place in his heart. Do you think he has fallen in love with you? When you don't have that specialness, you have nothing. No. Your fate may be even worse than mine. If you are really confident about yourself, do you dare to let him receive treatment? Do you dare to take a gamble that if his illness is cured, your position in his heart will still be the same as it is now? He treats you, can it still be the same? Don't you dare. Shenro raised the corners of her lips mockingly, because you know very well that once he returns to normal, once your specialness is gone, you will be just an ordinary woman in his heart. Even if you can still be together, your relationship will never be what it is now. Shenro said these words deliberately to irritate Jiao Mian. She wanted to plant a seed in Jiao Mian's heart. A seed that can turn into a bomb at any time. But she did think so in her heart. She didn't believe that a ruthless man like Mo Yesi could really fall in love with a woman. What he fell in love with was just an illusion. Because Jiao Mian is the only woman who can touch him without being resisted by him. He thought he had met true love. But if his illness is cured and any woman can touch him, will Jiao Mian still be so important in his heart? Never will. At that time, Jiao Mian was just like other women and no longer had any special characteristics. She has been by his side for more than 20 years, but she has not been able to impress him. If Jiao Mian wasn't that special, how could he be impressed by it? Mo Yesi is simply a ruthless and heartless man. It is impossible for him to fall in love with any woman. Oh, Really, Chiao Mian was not irritated by Shenrou's words. The expression on her face was very calm, and her voice was also very calm. Miss Shen once said the same thing. In fact, you don't have to do this again. Remind me again. I still remember what you said. Shenrou looked at the indifferent expression on her face and felt inexplicably angrier. You don't believe it? Do you think I said this because I was jealous of you? Chiao Mian, I didn't make up Mo Yesi's illness. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2448. Chapter 2448. This must have done it on purpose. You can ask anyone around him and they will prove that I am not lying. He has had this problem since he was a child. Except for his close relatives, other women are not allowed to touch him. He has been treating diseases, and the person who treats him is Lu Rao. If you want to know about this matter, just ask Lu Rao, it's crystal clear. However, after he met you, he didn't seek treatment from Lu Rao anymore. But if he is willing to continue to treat the disease, it is possible to cure the disease. Of course, if you are afraid and dare not prove his feelings for you, the disease does not need to be treated. It's good that you deceive yourself like this for the rest of your life. Mo Yesi's face darkened. Just as he was about to speak, Chiao Mian squeezed his palm and gave him a take-it-easy look. Mo Yesi looked at her and chose to remain silent. Chiao Mian comforted the man next to her, and turned to face Shenrou's deliberately provocative eyes. This is a matter between me and ACI, and it has nothing to do with you as an outsider. Miss Shen worries too much. Chiao Mian, you don't dare to let him continue to receive treatment, do you? Shenrou smiled, because you also know very well that once he recovers, he will not be what he is now. You are afraid of losing your specialness. Shenrou, it's useless to use Gigi's method on me. Chiao Mian looked at Shenrou as if she were laughing, and said in a calm voice, do you know when is the ugliest time for a woman? Shenrou was stunned and frowned tightly. Chiao Mian's calm eyes swept around her face that was stained by tears, pursed her lips, then shook her head and sighed. The ugliest time for a woman is when she is blinded by jealousy. You should have brought a mirror with you. I suggest you open the mirror and take a good look at your current appearance. It's really scary. If someone takes a picture of you, Miss Shen, in such a miserable state, I'm afraid it will affect your Shen life. His image. Chiao Mian, what did you say? Shenrou was stunned, her face gloomy. Her words just now were originally intended to stimulate Chiao Mian. Unexpectedly, Chiao Mian acted as if she didn't hear her and didn't react at all. Instead, she even mocked her. What's hateful is that she was actually affected by Chiao Mian's words. I really want to take out the mirror right away and take a look at what she looks like now. This must have done it on purpose. She must be concerned in her heart, but she pretends not to care on the surface. Miss Shen is arrogant, and she must be disdainful of stalking. So, please don't chase ASI anymore. Although there are not many people now, it is not without others watching. If you let people, I saw Miss Shen chasing a man, I'm afraid the headline on tomorrow's hot search will not look good. I don't want Miss Shen, an outsider, to worry about the matters between ACI and I. Please give way and stop standing in our way. Shenrou only remembered that she was in the mall now after Chiao Mian said this. This entire floor is dedicated to selling luxury brands. And they also sell some of the more expensive luxury brands. So not many people come to this floor to shop. At this point in time, there are even fewer people. But it doesn't mean that there is no one else but them. No matter how few people there are only a few. As soon as Shenrou turned her head, she saw a few people standing not far away. Their eyes seemed to be looking towards her, and they were taking pictures with their mobile phones. I wish you all a happy Spring Festival in advance and all the best. Tomorrow Weivue wants to celebrate the Chinese New Year in a relaxed way, so I will probably take a day off tomorrow and resume updating the day after tomorrow. Of course, if I have time tomorrow night, I will still try to find time to write 2 chapters. I'll see what happens then. I wish you all a happy new year again. I hope everyone will have a prosperous new year and all their wishes will come true. 2020 will be a super lucky year for everyone. Then I love you, okay. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2449. Chapter 2449. Is this crazy? Shenro's expression suddenly changed. I don't know how long those people stood there or how long they took pictures. Have you taken pictures of her previous embarrassment and misery? No, if they were all filmed, she would never let those videos get out. She will never allow herself to become a joke in the eyes of others again. She cannot tolerate others thinking she is a poor person. She is not pitiful. Shenro doesn't need anyone's sympathy. Thinking of this, Shenro raised her head and looked at Jiao Mian and Mo Yesi with a sullen face. She gritted her teeth and said harshly every word, Jiao Mian, Mo Yesi, don't get too proud too early. Now you are so humiliating. I will make you regret it. Next, let's wait and see. I'm waiting to see how the superior Mo family loses to our Shen family. Mo Yesi, do you think you are the eternal winner? This time, I want you to know that even if you no matter how powerful you are, there will still be times when you are not as good as me. You can't always be the most powerful one, and you can't always put people under your feet. Shenro raised her chin high, maintaining her last bit of pride, and every word seemed to be a declaration. After saying this, she turned around and walked towards the women who had just photographed her. Jiao Mian. This must be crazy. What do you mean they should not get too proud too early? She wasn't feeling proud at all, was she? She, Shenro, was making up everything in her own head. You really want to add drama to yourself, pretending to be an innocent and pitiful Xiao Balian who is bullied by others. She and Mo Yesi became bad guys who bullied the weak. But in fact, neither she nor Mo Yesi did anything to Shenro. When something happened to Mr. Shen, the Mo family did not help. But it just didn't help. As Mo Yesi said, the Mahists did not add insult to injury at that time. If the Mo family took advantage of the Shen family's trouble and not only failed to help, but also took advantage of the situation to attack, then the Mo family would indeed have gone too far. Shenro hates the Mo family and Mo Yesi for a reason. But just because the Mo family didn't help, she felt that the Mo family was sorry for her and the Shen family. She then hated everyone in the Mo family and secretly dealt with the Mo family in various ways. This was too extreme. Jiao Mian, who was hated the most by Shenro, said that she was the most innocent one. Because she did nothing. Just because she was with Mo Yesi, Shenro hated her with all her heart. This hatred really comes out of nowhere. Shenro just said that she wanted to see how the superior Mo family lost to Shen family. She was probably referring to the upcoming launch of new jewelry products by Shen family and Mo family. Shen invited Henry Zhou to be the designer. Once this news is released, it will be more effective than asking any big-name celebrity to endorse it. This time, Shen seems to be really sure of winning. Shenro herself must have felt that Shen was sure to win, so she spoke such provocative words in such a high-profile and proud manner. And what about Mo Yesi? What did he think after hearing what Shenro said just now? When Jiao Mian was thinking this, she couldn't help but raise her head and glance at Mo Yesi. Then she realized that she seemed to be the only one who was worried. The man next to him had a calm face, still calm, and his facial expression was not affected at all. His calmness made Shenro's arrogant remarks just now look like a joke. Updates will resume today. One chapter will be updated first, and the remaining 3 chapters are still being written. They will be updated before 12 o'clock. In addition, in these extraordinary times, everyone should stay at home as much as possible. When they are bored, they can read novels, catch up on TV series, or play games. Anyway, try not to go out. If you must go out, remember to wear a mask. Be sure to wear a mask when going out. Also, don't go to crowded places. Health comes first, and you must be obedient. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2450. Chapter 2450. Delete all the things you photographed. Xiao Mian looked at him like this, as if she had been given a reassurance. Her originally worried and impatient heart was slowly calmed down. She should believe Mo Yesi. When he first took over the Mo family, many people did not believe in his ability and were unwilling to admit this to young CEO from their hearts. But later, Mo Yesi proved himself with his absolute ability. Today, everyone in the Mo family is in awe of him, and no one will ever think that he can't manage the Mo family well. As far as Xiao Mian knows, although Mo Yesi is an unkind and difficult boss in the eyes of Mo's employees, many employees admire him from the bottom of their hearts, admire him, and think their boss is very powerful. Because after Mo Yesi officially took over Mo's, it didn't take long to double Mo's original performance, and then generously increase the salaries of all employees. In terms of welfare benefits, they are also better than before. For employees, it is actually not that important whether the boss is a person who is approachable and easy to talk to. Ordinary employees don't have many opportunities to directly contact their bosses. Hence, what they value most is salary related to their own interests. Mo's salary and welfare benefits rank first in the entire Yunchinj. No one who entered the Mo family wanted to leave. The man beside her is a very powerful man, even terrifyingly powerful. The fact that he can be so calm shows that he has already thought of a way to deal with it. Although she couldn't guess what the solution was. But she should believe him. After thinking about it like this, Xiao Mian felt more and more calm, because the worry that Shenro had just said quickly disappeared. Let's go. Mo Yesi lowered his head to meet her gaze. A gentle smile appeared on his handsome face, which was so calm and expressionless. He stretched out his hand to rub her head. Didn't you say you were sleepy? Go back to the company now. You have 3 p.m. I'll go to the recording studio at 1 o'clock, so I can still sleep for 2 hours. Xiao Mian nodded. The two of them ignored Shenro and quickly left the mall. Asterisk. Shenro walked up to several young girls with a gloomy face. The girls look to be around 20 years old, and they are all exquisitely dressed. It is obvious at a glance that their families are in good condition. They did take a picture of Shenro crying with snot and tears. After the filming, several people were ready to leave. Unexpectedly, Shenro came directly to them. Several girls immediately put away their mobile phones. Shenro looked ugly. When she walked behind the girls, she stretched out her hand and said coldly, "Take it out." What? Several girls were stunned for a moment. Shenro's eyes became colder and her tone became even worse. She said in a fierce tone, "Don't think I didn't see it. What did you just take pictures of me? Now take out your phone and delete all the things you took." Seeing that Shenro discovered that they were secretly filming just now, their expressions changed. Soon, a girl in a black coat calmed down first. She raised her head and looked at Shenro, and said in a not very good tone, "Who are you? You are talking so rudely. We don't know you at all, let alone secretly filming you. The mobile phone is a personal item, it contains our secrets, why should I give it to you?" End of this chapter.